People really like to throw TF2 and Valve's negligence towards it under the bus, while also forgetting about Left 4 Dead 2 and Valve's treatment of it. It only took them 8 years to update it. Don't even get me started on how bad they neglected Portal 2. So let's bring some love to that co-op game everyone owns on Steam and remind them that it exists within an iceberg. As my legal team has addressed to me, I have to explain what an iceberg chart is. Iceberg charts and iceberg videos go through and explain information, common knowledge at the top, super obscure Alice in Wonderland stuff at the bottom, to put it in simple layman's terms. This specific Left 4 Dead iceberg comes from Timely Hearing 18, I think. Unlike everyone else, he doesn't seem to actually know the things on it, so I think he probably just stole it from somebody else, but I can't confirm it, so... As a result, I don't know for certain what some things on here mean, or may interpret it in some other way. I can't exactly ask about it, so fuck. With that all out of the way, let's get this show on the road. This is a fairly popular theory which denotes that the special infected are created by a result of the virus mutating or further altering parts of their body or mental state. Boomers may have been people with obesity, explaining why both male and female versions exist. Smokers were smokers, kinda obvious. Hunters may have been people who were extremely athletic in some way, the evidence being that all hunters wear clothing akin to a parkourist, such as the duct tape to reduce air resistance. Spitters are always female, and are also always producing stomach acid, resulting in them throwing it up. There are a couple of real-life illnesses that result in increased gastric acid, but personally I like the idea that failed livers somehow cause spitters. Having a failed liver greatly increases the speed of acid in the stomach while causing other symptoms like vomiting and even abdominal swelling. That certainly checks out. The jockey has dwarfism. Pretty simple. Chargers are interesting, to put it nicely, and extremely convoluted, to put it harshly. Nothing can ever be a walk in the park, apparently. Now, obviously, the most defined part of the Charger is his right arm, while the least defined is his left. You already know the joke here, don't make me spell it out. This could be as simple as Chargers are simply right-handed, or they could have had a deformed left hand before they're infected, a congenital limb. Tanks are fairly easy. Either A, they were super muscular, or B, they took some performance-enhancing drugs and then got infected. Or option C, both. And then we have witches, which are without a doubt the most interesting one, and I mean that sincerely, unlike the Chargers. A witch's mutation seems to be much more related to their mental state rather than any physical requirements. Witches are clinically depressed, resulting them to cry and wail constantly. Interestingly, the Sugar Mountain Hard Raid is filled to the brim with witches. Sugar is also known for messing with your chemicals in the brain, making you more depressed and moody. Uncommon infected aren't the same horde of zombies waltzing around the street. They're unique and much rarer. There are several types of uncommon infected, all spawning on only a select few campaigns, and even sections of said campaigns. Zombies wearing Sita hazmat suits are immune to fire. Fallen survivors are some chumps who thought they were the protagonists, only to die. They carry assorted loot on them and actively run away from players rather than fight them. Clown zombies make a lot of noise and as a result attract zombies to them. Mudmen are men covered in mud. Who'd have guessed? When they hit you, said mud blurs your vision temporarily. They also crawl around on all fours. Riot zombies are really fucking annoying. They wear body armor and can only be shot in the back. Worker zombies or hard hat zombies are super fucking lame though. They're immune to pipe bombs, and that's all they've ever had going for them in their lives apparently. There is yet another uncommon zombie, which is much rarer, but it shows up later down the iceberg, so I can't talk about it here. I'll be honest with you, my memory of SCP is terrible. I cannot recall at all what numbers correspond to what thing. So SCP-096, or I'm going to be calling it instead, Shy Guy, that's the wrong Shy Guy, is a creature who violently reacts to being stared at, either through a video or image. When Shy Guy's face is looked upon, it goes on a blood-filled rage to murder whoever laid their eyes on it. No matter the distance, 500 miles and 500 more, and no matter the obstacles. No mountain high, no valley low, and no river wide enough to keep him from getting to you. When Shy Guy isn't murdering people, it likes to be a big old baby and cry with his hands over its head. So the similarities are pretty damning when compared to the witch, but is it a direct inspiration? No! Fucking moron. Not because the two aren't similar, and is a coincidence, but because of a little thing you may or may not have heard of, called Slender Man? For the grandmas watching this video who have no idea who Slender Man is, despite the snazzy business suit, white face, and wants to steal your soul, he is in fact not a lawyer. In fact, he's another slender humanoid being who doesn't like his face to be seen, which is a shame because he's quite classy with that suit. Personally, I believe that Shy Guy took more inspiration from Slender Man than the Witch, but I can't confirm such claims, so have fun complaining in the comments or something. Bill's full name is William Bill Overbeck. This may seem like a weird entry, but the reason for its inclusion is that Bill is the only survivor whose full name we know. I mean, we don't even know Coach's first name, it's just his nickname. Bill's name is addressed in the Left 4 Dead webcomic, more info later, and obviously right on his jacket. Playing around in Crash Course and going past these steam pipes here procs an interesting conversation between Zoe and Francis. Obviously in reference to Steam.
Brown shorts, and I beat him to death. Molotov over here! Hey, watch out for that goddamn steam pipe.
Man, I love steam.
Oh yeah, I love steam. I just hate the pipes. Grenade!
Valve mentions other Valve games directly a lot in Left 4 Dead, which results in a theory that kinda collapses in on itself. Lewis directly mentions how he feels like Gordon Freeman when picking up a crowbar.
Man, I feel like I'm Gordon Freeman.
And even Counter-Strike.
Oh man, this is just like Counter-Strike.
Ellis, on the other hand, only makes a casual reference to Half-Life and his infamous vent crawling. Another Half-Life reference. In the first chapter of Swamp Fever, you can come across this charger here, strewn and hooked up right before starting the event to cross a river. The shape of this charger is of the lambda symbol. Wow, I bet you couldn't guess that from the title. As it turns out, the lovable survivors are not immune to the green flu, but are simply asymptomatic, carriers of the disease. Immune to the symptoms, but still transmitting it. This info is found out in the Left 4 Dead Sacrifice comic. Added in the Last Stand update, golden crowbars are weapons with a slightly faded color to it. Found on all the newly introduced survival maps that came with the update, another one can also be found in the secret credit room for the Last Stand as well. Finding all golden crowbars earns you the Golden Freeman achievement. Stat-wise, they are identical to normal crowbars, which are probably the worst melee weapon in the entire game. Things aren't even that golden and shiny if I'm going to be honest with you. The Midnight Riders are a fictional band within the world of Left 4 Dead, and I guess Counter-Strike as well. They have 30 songs, 4 of which are actually recorded for our beautiful listening pleasure. The lyrics of these songs typically reference some events in Left 4 Dead, most commonly in the song, quote-unquote, "Save me some sugar, this won't take long." It's a bit of a clear-cut reference to the events of the game. The survivors leave Georgia, and while in Louisiana, cause a bridge to burn down. Yeah? TF2 and Valve have crossover items like Bill's beret, Alice's cap, and of course everybody's favorite frying pan. What of this entry is deserving of being this deep? Yeah, I got nothing, Chief. No evidence or theories or comments or anything. Not a damn fucking thing. Coach and Rochelle's relationship is reminiscent of Bill and Zoe's, kind of a father-daughter dynamic, and that's it. He puts this on the iceberg, but he doesn't mention the cut special Screamer Infected, just so we're all on the same page of what I have to work and deal with here, alright? Recall that super rare uncommon zombie I mentioned earlier? Well, here he is, ex-race car driver Jimmy Gibbs, without a doubt the rarest zombie in the game, with a whopping 5% spawn chance to appear during the finale of the Dead Center campaign and nowhere else. Jimmy Gibbs has 1000 HP, the same as a witch, is immune to the effects of bile, pipe bombs, and fire, and he blinds people with oil when striking them. Hey, how can he be immune to fire while also coated in oil? Whispering Oaks Theme Park is the set of the Dark Carnival campaign, which features the mascot Lil Peanut and Noam Chomsky, and boy oh boy is there some incredibly deep lore here, let me tell ya. So, Little Peanut is a good guy, and then there's this pistachio character who's called Mustachio, who's a bad guy, and he has skeleton minions, and that's it for the deep and incredible lore. I got really hyped for this one. I was expecting something really deep and unknown here, but no, it's just nothing. I'm tremendously disappointed. I mean, I've already mentioned it twice now, but yes, there is a Left 4 Dead comic out there, and I've linked it in the description down below. Give it a read if you want. I'm not really going to go spoil the plot for anyone, just that it goes through the events Bill, Zoe, Francis, and Lewis go in between through campaigns that we don't get to see as the player. CETA is the fictional government agency in charge of civil emergencies and defense. When the green flu broke out, CETA dispatched trucks to help out the public. These were called Disease Emergency Assessment Dispatches, or as the title says, DEAD, a very fitting name. I think this is supposed to relate to the rarity of the AK-47 and its relatively low spawn rate. If not that, then I don't know. Renewable gas achievable in Korea 2047? I got no idea. In the passing campaign, you can rarely find the Midnight Riders tour bus zoom on by. I'm not sure what causes this though, if you need to play a specific song on the jukebox here, or just have good luck. With my luck, I'd probably spontaneously combust after the house plays a royal flush, hence the video. On one of the research bulletin boards done by CETA in regards to mutations of the green flu, we can see several photos and notes regarding the boomer. These photos show a boomer in captivity, especially in this photo here. We already mentioned how TF2 has references to Left 4 Dead, but does Left 4 Dead have references to TF2? Yes! Dumbass. Several actually. Ellis has a voice line saying the following.
Dude, this is just like Team Fortress 2!
Which is kinda ironic actually, since TF2 has an Ellis hat. And then there's also this heavy figurine on Lewis's desk in the Left 4 Dead comic. Also, Burger Tank apparently uses both the Red Heavy and Blue Pyro as mascots, if you can make them out. Here, kinda hard to see. Also, apparently Valve can't help but make 10th class jokes even outside of TF2. I certainly wouldn't know. No, really, I don't know what this century's about. The only reference to sleep is a piece of graffiti saying that the zombies don't sleep or eat, and that's all I got. The quote made me think it was one of the many cups in the games, but it isn't, so I literally have no idea what this entry's supposed to be. There isn't even any voice lines that even mention sleep. Trust me, I checked. If you have any idea what this entry means, please comment down below. Fairly self-explanatory. Here's an example in the Church from Death Toll, which contains a majority of these names. 50 seconds in.
Oh, this black
Like that guy.
Let's go, Alexius.
That's canonically Lewis.
Is that?
That's canonically Lewis. Just because he's a black guy wearing a tie in a zombie apocalypse.
Oh, I mean, he does have the outfit.
It's canonically him.
I mean,
He doesn't even say pills here, man, but that's him. Oh, good lord.
that's actually fucking surreal. Oh, you're rocking with the Left 4 Dead and LMFAO crossover.
How does someone even genuinely react to being told this piece of information, by the way? Now, to be fair, it isn't explicitly outright stated to be Lewis, but it is probably him. Like 90% chance it's him. For those who haven't seen Party Rock Anthem by LMFAO, how is it Under That Rock? The music video is a clear parody of zombie media. The intro says 28 days later, like the movie 28 Days Later, which is famous for reigniting the zombie genre. Both Uncle Red Foe and Nephew Sky Blue. What kind of names are those? Wake up in a hospital. Very reminiscent of The Walking Dead. And then there's this character, a black guy in a business suit and a tie. I wonder what he could be a reference to. Hardcore Henry's probably much more well known for his Payday 2 crossover, but Left 4 Dead and even Half-Life quickly appeared in the movie as well. We got Super Hot, Payday 2 again, District 9, and even It Follows to name a few quick movie posters that show up in here as well. Now, for some reason, this iceberg doesn't bring up two other movie references, so to prevent people from complaining in the comments, here we go. Left 4 Dead was involved in both Zombieland and Cabin in the Woods. Zombieland was meant to be set in the same universe as Left 4 Dead, but that never happened. And Cabin in the Woods actually shows several of the special infected in the famous monster cage scene. There was also going to be a Cabin in the Woods campaign, but that also didn't happen. Really letting me down here, Valve. This entry is just a bunch of words of little connection to one another. Suicide Blitz 2 is the custom campaign with a unique tank model shown here. It's one of the more popular custom campaigns out there, but I still don't know what this entry means. I'm assuming it's an Easter egg in the campaign, but I don't know for certain, and looking it up provides no details. Nick and Francis don't get to talk to one another one-on-one a whole lot, but oh boy, when they do.
Thanks for telling us about the goddamn sewer.
Which? Oh, sorry. Got confused by all your crying.
Yeah, he does go on. Whatever. So what are we doing here?
Take the elevator down to the generator. Don't cry on it, though. It's electrical.
Despite the aggressive comments, however, Nick and Francis here appear to belong to the same gang. Francis has a tattoo while Nick has a ring, both with the same emblem on it. The usage of the word brother by Francis may also allude to some past connection.
Sorry, brother. Like I've been telling you, the bridge is up until the generator gets refueled.
Survivor graffiti is a common sight in Left 4 Dead. Not a whole lot of it stands out, but there are a few exceptions, such as the Angels of Death, who are the only known survivor group to actually thrive in the apocalypse. They only make 2 appearances, I guess, but the first one being in Crash Course, where 7 names are listed in addition to several tallies. The second appearance shows up in The Sacrifice, with an additional name and even more tallies, and an ego apparently, claiming they're quote-unquote clearing the way for other survivors. If the tallies are representative of the amount of zombies they've killed, altogether they've killed 600. Recalled when I mentioned Ellis talking about Half-Life vents like eons ago? Well, here it is again, for some reason. In the church on Death Toll, you can hit E on the piano and play some classy music.
Right.
All while your teammates scream at you for not shooting zombies.
I'm
still playing the piano, yep. You have to defend me playing the piano. I'm
I'm
playing the piano. I do what I want. I'm the piano man. Billy Joel, 1989. Biggest hits record. Put him on the map. Look it up. This was a change added in the Last Stand update and is without a doubt in my mind the most obscure thing ever. In the passing, you can see Bill's corpse. Make sure you pay your respects for the fallen hero by taking his gun. And hold on a second, do you not see? This gun is different than a normal M16 rifle. That's right, this gun has blood splatter on it and a somewhat lighter clip. And that's it? Why was this changed? Why did they do this? What is the point of this? I don't know, but I think it's kind of cool and I wish they did it with more weapons. The return of the custom campaign. There's a little Easter egg and reward if you're capable of carrying Noam Chomsky to the final stage. I'm just going to link a video of it down below in addition to the map if you want to experience it for yourself. Going back to the song Save Me Some Sugar, This Won't Take Long by the Midnight Riders, the song sounds pretty standard and typical, no demonic or satanic imagery or conspiracy theories here, just some random gibberish at the 2-minute and 5-second mark, but that's it.
But Space Guy, realizing he makes lore videos, decided to play the video backwards for no real reason, other than having problems with transitioning to the point.
Bill is dead? Next you're gonna tell me that George Harrison is dead, and Paul McCartney is dead, and John Lennon, not sweet innocent Lennon, he can't be dead. That means that only Ringo Starr's left. Oh God. Wake me up. No, it can't be real. Not Ringo. Anybody Ringo, please. Wait, it can't be real. No. Oh, thank God, the outro music. It isn't real. Thank God we don't live in a world where Ringo Starr is still alive. That's that for this Iceberg. If I'm gonna be honest with everyone here, I'm pretty disappointed in it. Left 4 Dead has a lot of deep, obscure facts to it that this Iceberg barely touched on. And not just stuff portraying solely within Left 4 Dead, but in other media as well. I mentioned Cabin in the Woods and Zombieland, but Payday had this huge and terrible heist with Left 4 Dead. Also, let's not forget the special cut-infected, the Screamer, which isn't mentioned once in this entire thing. Thankfully, the video is now over, and now the purgatory of my lore-filled existence begins, because now I get to research this abomination. Fucking tremendous. Moral of the story, don't listen to suggestions or feedback, especially from people who like your content and wish to see you grow. I'm of course joking with you lovely and fantastic people. I'll be talking to a wall about how much of a cover-up this monkey's death caused without you. And I'm quite happy at least 2,000 of you also seem to care about that. If you aren't one of those 2,000 but still have some interest in where this channel may be going into the future, I implore you to stick around as I got a lot planned. You don't have to sub or anything, just keep a mental note that I exist. Like your grandma. By the way, you might want to check on her. She misses you deeply and is lonely in the home.